What's up, everybody? Back from the commercial break. I am Ryan Thomas. This is the Thomas Take Sports Podcast coming to you live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, at Thomas Takeover, and obviously Spreaker.com. One of the best streaming websites for a podcast that you could possibly use. They provide me with awesome exposure. They do a great job. So awesome. Big ups to those guys. Another site that you can check out that I kind of want to plug is linkyourfit.com. Linkyourfit.com is a personalized exercise food preparation website where you can check out the website and kind of personalize your own workout regimen to the site, and it will give you recommendations on how to eat based on your workout to create muscle mass, to burn fat, all sorts of things. So check that out. Obviously, this is the Thomas Take, and obviously I'm bringing you a topic about sports. At the start of the show, I paid tribute to a wonderful man, a wonderful friend, Irv Weinstein, passed away this past Christmas weekend, unfortunately. Yesterday, December 26th, at the age of 87. Irv was a huge influence on me growing up, in this business, so to speak, and a man that is well-deserving as one of the most revered news personalities that there ever will be in Buffalo, and in my opinion, the most revered. I mean, he accomplished everything that you set out to accomplish, and then some. So rest in peace to a great man. And then obviously I recapped my take on Josh Rosen and the recent statements that he's made in regards to his NFL future, his draft future. Now I want to talk about a signing that was writing on the wall from the start, a signing that I thought was bound to happen, as I talked about it on numerous occasions on my Facebook and Twitter. That former longtime Pittsburgh Steeler, James Harrison, I believe he's the all-time sacks leader for the Pittsburgh Steelers. James Harrison has turned to the dark side. He's moved on to the evil empire, the New England Patriots. Was that the first thing that I thought? Yes, it was. The dark side. The man in the hoodie, the emperor, Darth Sidious, Darth Belichick, brought James Harrison over and said, "Come on, James. Come on. Join the dark side. Join the Sith. We're here for you." And he is now known as Darth James Harrison, according to most Pittsburgh news sources. No, he's not, but I think he is. I mean, you got former players like former teammates like Pouncey saying he just destroyed his Steelers' legacy by joining the Patriots. I think that's a little extreme. I mean, we're here in week 17. The guy put in over a decade and a half with one team. I think that's a little extreme. I think that guy should honestly keep his mouth shut if he knew it was good for him, because James Harrison is a monster. A mammoth, just a beast. The guy is 38 years old. 38. And he is moving thousands of pounds at will. Just I don't even know what word to use. I mean, this guy is a revelation to modern science. It makes no sense that his body can do the things that it can do at his age, with all the wear and tear that he's put on his body as a linebacker. It's not like he hits soft. This guy has been one of the hardest hitting linebackers in the NFL. So I think that this is a great signing by the Patriots. I think that this is a signing that makes a whole ton of sense, because at this point the Steelers are really, on paper, the only team standing in their way at reaching another Super Bowl. The only team. And Harrison provides them intel if people think that this is just, they just want a veteran for their locker room, no. James Harrison was signed so that the Patriots could get some intel on the Steelers' offense. The Steelers' offense is one of the best, if not the best, in the NFL. You can make a serious case. The Patriots are obviously up there. You have the Rams, who have been hot all season long. You have the Seahawks, who are still dangerous. You have the Patriots, who find a way to win, but the Steelers have firepower in Big Ben. A hurt AB, even at maybe 60%, is better than half, if not more than half, than the wide receivers in the league. I don't know when he's coming back. I'm hearing maybe the second week of the playoffs. When they're ready to play, and obviously we're talking about Le'Veon Bell too. You got to throw him in there. So James Harrison becoming a Steeler, or becoming a Patriot, is a pure intel move by Bill Belichick. And he's done this before. He did this with Junior Seau, went from Miami to New England. He did this with Rodney Harrison, who went from the Chargers to New England. He's done this before, and he's going to do it again. He'll do it again until he stops coaching. That's when it's going to stop. For all the people that are wondering, when is Bill Belichick going to stop poaching these players from long-time stints with teams to the New England Patriots? It's going to continue. It's going to happen. Darrelle Revis is another one. I'm trying to think of some on the offensive side of the ball. Obviously, Randy Moss was a big acquisition for them, but they weren't really stealing him from a rival. He had some down years with the Raiders. You could say maybe Wes Welker. You could throw him in there, but Wes Welker wasn't really much of a force, really. I mean, I wouldn't say that. I'd say that Wes Welker was, in terms of special teams and things like that. New England stole him from the Dolphins and found ways to use him beyond, his ability at that point. They found ways to use him in certain packages and things that made him the best slot receiver of this decade, I think. So Bill Belichick is just doing what he does best. The New England Patriots are just doing what they do best, taking chances that no one is willing to take. And you know what that equals? That equals winning. That's what sets a standard of winning. When you take chances like this on players later in their careers, you bet you-know-what that James Harrison is going to play his butt off these next few weeks for the Patriots. Any role, any opportunity that he gets to play hard, he is going to play hard. Because this is probably the last days of his NFL career. It might not be. Maybe he'll play another year. But another gentleman that just popped into my head was Steven Jackson, the longtime Ram that went to the Patriots. I think that was a couple years ago at least. They've always done this. Austin Collie they always poach players that were, at one time either a flash in the pan for a rival or for a long time were a flash, shall I say, for a rival. And James Harrison is another case of it. A brilliant move because they needed veteran leadership at that outside linebacker position. He offered that. They've had injuries throughout the entire season on defense, and they've had injuries that have really crippled their team. I mean, Donta Hightower out the entire year. That's a huge injury. He's huge for that defense. The quarterback of that defense. The defensive end that they drafted, I think his name was Rivers, if I'm not mistaken. He was a huge pick for them. And that was an under-the-radar draft selection that I thought was a great pick by them. A guy that I really liked. That was like my sleeper pass rusher of that draft. And, of course, he goes to the Patriots. So, I mean, I think that New England is top 2 in that conference, and they should be. Do I think that they get a little bit of special treatment, a little bit of here's some of this, here's some of that in terms of the reffing? Yeah, you can say that. So, I mean, you look at the Steelers game with the Jesse James, you look at the Jets game with Austin Seferian-Jenkins, and you look at this past week's game with the Buffalo Bills with Kelvin Benjamin's touchdown. How is that not a touchdown? It's just people nationally, national media, analysts, sports writers are chastising these refs, as they should. I mean, when I watch an NFL football game, whether it's a Bills game or not, I don't want to see these guys with these white hats and the zebra costumes. I really don't. I don't care to see those guys. Those guys bore me to death. Really what it's about is seeing high-flying entertainment. It's a circus with a pigskin. That's what it should be. It should be entertaining. I want to see touchdown celebrations. I want to see long bomb passes for touchdowns. I want to see a running back rip through the defense and leave them all in the dust. That's what I want to see. And I do want to see some big hits, too. I want to see clean big hits. There's a difference between clean big hits and big hits. And it's not me that's saying I don't want to see dirty hits. The NFL told me to say that. The NFL told me to say I don't want dirty hits by all these rules and regulations that they have put in the game. But they are hypocritical about those rules and regulations that they have put in the game in order to make players, quote, safer. They want to make players, quote, safer, but they don't want to actually enact the rules. Case in point, TJ Yates got hit right in the head, right on the crown of his head versus the Steelers this past week. He went back into the game. So whatever this concussion protocol mumbo-jumbo that we're given each and every week, I think it's a load of crud, shall I say. And I think that if they're really going to enact this ruling of this concussion protocol, if a guy is taken out of a game, he should never return to a game, ever. So that's my take on that. It's not 1985. It's not 1975. It's not 1965. You get the point. It's 2017. It's about to be 2018 in a few days. Let's do what's right in that regard. But in the regard of James Harrison has been one of the most heavily fined players in NFL history. So if James Harrison is going to play his butt off, he better do it clean. But nonetheless, a brilliant move by the Patriots. I'm Ryan Thomas. That was the Thomas Take tonight. Thank you. Take care.